How come we are issuing a statement a day or few days, a day or few days? Let me quote you, a day after the last court hearing. We would like to put it on record. We have said this before, and we'll say it again. We'd like to put it on record. At no point did any court restrain the Nigeria Police Force from enforcing the tinted glass permit policy. At no point. What we have out there is people misinterpreting that last court paper that came out. That injunction talked about maintaining status quo. I don't want to go into technicalities, but it talked about maintaining status quo. As at the time that order was given, the status quo as at then was enforcement, not pre-enforcement. Enforcement was ongoing, and the court said maintain status quo. In fact, the court said it specifically that the request, the prayer of that lawyer that came to court seeking that it should be stopped would not be granted yet. It's stated there, the document is out there. So the status quo was to continue with the enforcement, with what was already on ground. But we had a meeting with NBA where the IGP decided to tow the path of care, the path of listening and being concerned, and he gave that directive that the tinted glass permit policy be suspended. So that suspension was not based on any court order. It was based on the Nigeria Police Force being responsible and being responsive to the yearnings of the people, being responsive to the appeal by the NBA. So, and when we announced that suspension, there was no time frame to it. At no point did we say it would be from so time. We just gave it time then. In fact, we were hoping that the court case would have reached a logical conclusion so that we would know where to go. If you remember that statement, we said it's being suspended to give Nigerians room to regularize their documentation and to also await the outcome of the court. But something has been happening. The court case has been dragging. And in that period, people now, criminal elements now confidently use these tinted vehicles to perpetrate crime. You might not know, we know because we gather information, we gather intelligence, and we maintain crime statistics. So I can tell you that. And just 2 weeks ago in Edo State, this is a verifiable fact. You can go out there to check it out. In Edo State, Benin City, 2 weeks ago, the police tried to stop a Lexus SUV with fully tinted vehicles. They refused to stop, and there was a pursuit. And upon stopping this vehicle, boxing them into a corner, the police approached. And the next thing was for the occupants of that vehicle to open fire on the police officer. He died instantly, an inspector of police. They were able to do this easily because the vehicle was fully tinted. You couldn't see from outside that they were carrying arms. That and many other cases. So the mandate of the police is to protect life and property. We would not fold our arms and watch things degenerate. We'll do what needs to be done. So, like I said earlier, there is no clear court order. There is no court order at all restraining the police from enforcing this. And since the case is still ongoing, and in that period, this is causing more criminality, we will do the right thing to start enforcing this permit policy until the court's case can be concluded. So until the court makes a clear pronouncement, we'll continue enforcement of this tinted permit policy. Contempt. I don't know what that's, I know what contempt is, but we are yet to be served any paper. So we won't act on what you have just told us today. When the papers get to us, we have a legal department. In fact, it has been upgraded to a directorate. We have a legal directorate. It's headed by an assistant inspector general of police. So once the papers come, we would respond accordingly. But for now, it's hearsay, so I wouldn't talk about hearsay. The money being accrued from this is going into private pockets. I've answered this question several times, that This is a departure from the old tinted permit system where everything was manual, where everything was paper-based. This time around, you are going to a secure website. For those who know a thing or two about the internet, for you to operate a website or a database where you have people's confidential information, phone numbers, NIN, house address, date of birth, you need extra layer of security. They don't come free. They don't come cheap either. So everything is online. There's a database. Your information is going in there. Do not forget that for Nigerians abroad who want to get tinted permit for their cars in Nigeria, because they need their relatives to drive these cars, they have to be the one to submit their biometrics. And the system is so advanced and sophisticated such that you can be abroad and submit your biometrics, your picture, it can scan your face, your fingerprint. This is the kind of advanced technology that is being deployed. They don't come free, neither do they come cheap. And yearly, if you know a thing or two about security certificates, they come, you renew them yearly. You don't buy any security certificates, your SSL, your firewalls. You don't buy, well, for some, it might be one-off payments, but for many others, you renew them yearly. So we are protecting the information of Nigerians with these advanced systems. And these systems require maintenance. So like I said before, I'm going to say it again, the money is being charged is to run that database, to keep it going. It's not a money-making venture, it's not a revenue-generating drive. It is to ensure that there is peace, there is safety and security for Nigerians. I don't know if I've answered everything about these tint permits that have been asked. I'm echoing what they said. They said he has said it exactly. I've talked about the monies and what the money is being used for. Somebody said it's unlawful, that the entire policy is unlawful. No, it isn't. It isn't.
What I'm saying is that the money is going to a private account, pathway ventures, not the one that Echo said it. You have told us what the money is meant for. My question is, why is it a private account, not a TSA account? That's my question.
Thank you. Talking about unlawful, that the entire system itself is unlawful, I'll let you know this, that before this kicked off, it went through all the necessary processes. Every single step that needs to be done was fulfilled. In fact, you would see that the website is a government website. It is posap.gov.ng. If something was illegal, trust me, it will not have a .gov.ng extension. If anything was illegal, the government itself, the federal government itself, created that website for POSAP. There is no other proof of legality, you are saying. And for channels asking about the particular fund it is going into, these are things that have all been ratified. The system, the process, the beginning, the middle, and the end are things that have been ratified by the government before it kick-started. That's much I would say about that. Christmas Eve attack, that there is intelligence about that. Yes, I think before the end of today, we are working on that. Before the end of today, we are going to issue a statement for the Yuletide period and the New Year, talking about our plans for Nigerians. But I can just give you like an idea what we want to tell you in that statement. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu, has already given marching orders to all